In my last video, I built an AI powered custom chatbot that not only answered your question but asked intelligent follow up questions. What I didn't show was the prompt engineering that I did to make that chatbot smart. Most people still in 2025 write prompts like they're talking to a friend or a teacher. I write prompts like I'm training a consultant. The difference, you get actions that you can actually implement in the real world. For those of you who are new to this channel, hi, this is Alisha, and in the last few years, I've pivoted through multiple careers and have helped businesses and organizations build robust systems that not only save them money but also time and energy. Here's the harsh reality: 90% of the people still in this time and age are wasting AI's potential because they don't understand prompt engineering. They still ask ChatGPT to help them with their resume and then wonder why ChatGPT gives them a basic generic garbage. Meanwhile, people who understand basic prompt structures, who understand how to make AI think, they are actually able to build systems that are able to think at a level where you want them to think. And you know what? The difference comes down to this basic framework. I build custom AI solutions for different businesses and organizations. And you know what? The secret is not just technology, it is also about how well you communicate with AI. Today, I'll be breaking down the exact prompt structure that I use to build different systems. And by the end of the video, you will understand why and how it works. Most people approach prompting like this: hey, help me figure out my career or give me a career advice. That's like hiring a consultant and saying, hey, figure it out. The framework that I'm about to share has 6 components that actually turn your AI from a responder to an advisor really quickly. Let's start with role because this is where most of the people mess it up completely. First is role, defining who is this AI. Okay, so as you see, the bad role assignment would be you are a helpful assistant. But my role assignment that I would give is you are a career pivot advisor, an expert AI coach specializing in helping professionals navigating career transitions successfully. You combine the expertise of a career counselor, business strategist, and a life coach with deep knowledge of modern workplace trends, AI automation, and the reality of corporate to independent career paths. Your personality is warm, encouraging, but realistic. You provide actionable advice without sugarcoating challenges. You understand the fears and aspirations of professionals, especially women in their 20s and to early 40s who are feeling stuck in corporate roles and seeking more fulfilling autonomous careers as paths. See the difference? I'm not just telling it what to be, but I'm giving it an identity, expertise, areas, and personalities. AI knows exactly who it is. It responds from an expert perspective consistently. Notice I also specified the target audience very clearly: professionals, especially women in their late 20s to early 40s. This is not random. Specific roles generate specific expertise. Second is task. What should it do and how should it think? This is called the chain of thought prompting method, and it is the difference between basic AI and consultant level AI. So instead of just saying give career advice, I break down the thinking process. And as you can see, the step first is information gathering. And information gathering is a really long process where you actually set the AI to see the current situation, assess it, have motivational analysis done, have resource evaluation done, and then it moves to the second step, which is the skills and strength audit. So it identifies your skills, the currently transferable skills that you have. It identifies skill gap analysis, what is your unique proposition. And step 3 is strategic planning, so timeline development. Create realistic timelines based on their financial and personal constraints. And risk mitigation. So you see the amount of details that we add to make AI actually think line by line, step by step, in a sequential manner. And then comes the action planning. So immediate next steps, providing like 1 to 3 actions that they can take this week, and then the medium term milestone and the long term vision. And then there is step 5, which is follow up guidance. So, resource recommendations, network building, progress tracking. All of this comes as your step 5, which is follow up guidance. And this is how you make your AI think, sequentially and in detail. The third part is the specifics, clear boundaries and requirements. Because teaching AI how to think is only half the battle, you also need to draw very specific boundaries. So let's dive into how to set specifics. So the specific section is your quality control. It tells the AI what to include and what to avoid. For example, you tell them always include questions before answers, realistic timelines, financial considerations, specific next step. What never to do is give generic advice, suggest quitting without planning, ignoring financial constraints. So this prevents the AI from giving dangerous or useless advice. When someone says, I hate my job, it won't just say, follow your passion. It will ask about financial runaway first. I also define expert boundary, knows when to refer to people, to lawyers, therapists, or financial advisor instead of trying to handle everything by itself. Fourth is context, the reality in which it is operating. Fifth is examples, show, don't tell. Context gives AI situational awareness. I don't just tell it about career transitions, I give it modern reality. AI is changing every industry. Remote work opened global opportunities, financial pressure from mortgages and student loans. Imposter syndrome is common among women. So, this context shapes every response. The AI understand it's not giving advice in a vacuum, it's addressing real challenges. Then examples. Examples shows the AI exactly what good responses look like. I provide sample conversations demonstrating the tone, the question asking pattern and advice structure I want. So a bad example would be help me change careers, but a good example would be like a full conversation showing information gathering, strategic thinking, and actionable new steps. Sixth is notes, just fine tuning personality and dealing with edge cases. Okay, time for live demonstration. This is where I show you this framework in action with real comparison. So now what you see is ChatGPT, and I'm not given any prompt structure framework to ChatGPT, so I'm not trained it. I'm just going to ask a question. So let's type my question and see what result it gives me. Not bad. I would not say that this is bad, but what it does is it starts to break down and starts to give you advice. It gives you steps, for example, get clear on your fuel, what do people already come to you with help, what's very generic. So if you put like a specific question, for example, I wrote my corporate marketing job and I wanted to start a business, and it just started giving me generic responses. So yes, if you don't have any idea, if you're clueless, and if you want just advice, this is not bad. Just use your brain, of course. Evaluate this if this is something that you want to do. So, this is something that you can start with. It's not bad, I would say, but this is not specific enough to your need. So, that happens when you give like a question, a prompt, and it just starts to like give you advice. Now, what we will do is we will do the same thing. We will ask the same question, but this is something that I will do on the chatbot that I configured. Now, this chatbot is configured with the prompt that I just showed you how to write the entire thing. So, that's something that I did. Now, what I'll do is I'll ask the same thing and let's see what it does. So instead of throwing advice at me, what it does is it goes into questioning very specifically. So, what specifically about your marketing role is making you unhappy? Is it work itself, the environment, or the lack of autonomy? So, if you see the difference, what this is doing is it's taking my context in hindsight and using that to ask me question. And this is what I just showed you, the chain of thought prompting. Without the questions, it won't give me advice. And then it goes into another question and trying to gather more information about why, what, and how. So it says that knowing more about what's driving you away from your current job as well as your financial situation and existing skills, we will help suggest business models that could be a good fit. The key is finding something that addresses what you are dissatisfied with. It also asks, does that make sense? Let me know the answers to the question, and we can start brainstorming potential business ideas. It feels like I'm actually talking to a career coach at this point. So that's the personalization and detailing that can actually come out of even an AI configured chatbot. So I will again go back here. Um, and look at this. So it says, ask yourself what people come to you. These are all the things that you would have probably heard, like very generic things. I've actually seen YouTube videos also with all this generic advice in the past. And these are some things that probably everyone knows, right? Like freelance consulting, digital products. But what about my previous skills? What about exactly where I am in my career? Can this suit me? So, all of that analysis it does when it gathers information and not throws things at you. So, that's the difference between like a very specific way of teaching AI to help you out instead of just throwing in questions like you ask a friend and then get random advice. So, what you saw was the prompt structure and framework that you can use to customize different AI systems. So, what I showed you was just one example of Career Pivot or Career Advisor a chatbot, but I've actually used the same structure in different industries. I've used them with content creators, I've used them with sales representatives, and use them with customer support services as well. So it works really well if you properly write everything in detail. So your next question should be, how should I use this in my own AI project? And the easiest next steps that you can take is one, just start writing exact roles that AI should take. Second, use chain of thought prompting. Exactly tell how to think about the query. And the last is give examples so that it has some context and real life examples to think and give specific replies. So, whether you are creating chatbots, using ChatGPT for your own work, or creating specific AI solutions, this can actually work and improve your results massively. Lastly, before I go, if you are thinking about career pivots, career transition, or navigating career in the age of AI, I'm super active on a channel called Threads. I will put the link below. Get in touch with me and let's see what we can build together.